Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
Hi, welcome to the New York Parrot Literary Corner. I am your host and anchor, Dustin Pickering. Today we have Joanna Svifson, who is a Swedish poet, a writer, and has been writing and publishing her works since her early teens. As a poet, she has at present 8 books of poetry, of which The 7 Colors of My Life is published in the USA, and De Sve Fargana El Live in Sweden in Swedish in 2020, and its Arabic version published in Sweden in June of 2021. Zazbazdat, published in Polish in 2019. Longing is a poetry collection in 2 parts, published in 2007 and 2008. As a writer, she has published 2 large fiction novels, The Secret of the Medallion and The Key to Heaven, in a trilogy. The 3rd one, On the Other Side of the Door, is ready for publishing in 2021. Beside a new poetry collection, Beyond the Tears of Rain, 2 other projects are in progress at the moment: a collection of 10 short stories, Behind the Green Curtain, and a children's book illustrated by her husband, Parrot, who is a professional translator, graphic designer, and illustrator. He's also joining us on the program. Fluent in 3 languages, she writes in Swedish, German, and Polish. Her husband translates all her work to English. He is a member of the Sverigines for Davas Forbund for Centrum Sid and the Society of Polish Writers Living Abroad. Has participated in several anthologies over the years and achieved many acknowledgments for her prose and poetry. Her books are available at Svenska Akademika Handelsboken at Bokas and at the Royal Library in Stockholm and several other libraries in Sweden and Poland. In 2019, she was awarded first prize at the Bucharest International Festival of Literature for her first novel, The Secret of the Medallion, which is now being translated into English. She's also very active in both Swedish and Polish literary society and participates in several international prose and poetry festivals around the world. So thank you very much for joining us today. This is a wonderful show we have for creative minds, and we will definitely have an interesting conversation. And so my first question for Joanna is, what are your writing habits like, and how does Sweden support their artists socially and economically?
Okay. Yes. So I'll answer her question. She says, I have always had a pad with squared sheets and a couple of newly sharpened pencils at hand. The squares are somewhat magical to me. I can't explain why, but thoughts and ideas can appear from anywhere at any time, and words just come to me. So my truly greatest inspirational source is nature. In the universe, everything seems to be so logically structured, and it's made out by unwritten laws. In my work, I also use a dictaphone. My husband also helps me out when I, for example, wake up in the middle of the night, starts recitating a poem. And he often says that my skills are somewhat unique because when I start recitating a vista, I almost always create the whole poem with very few adjustments afterwards. I get the words from above. They are just there for me, she says. And you asked how Sweden supports their poets and writers socially and economically. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's a very tough question to answer because there are many poets and writers in Sweden, many gifted but unknown, and some well-known but still having hard time to make ends meet. So in Sweden, you can't make an honest living out of being a writer. Joanna is more famous in other parts of the world than she is in Sweden. She is a member of the Swedish Author Society and other literary organizations, but no one gives her the golden apple for free, so she just have to be a fighter to get somewhere. despite the fact that you may be famous in other parts of the world, doesn't mean that you have it easy in Sweden.
Men sen är det svenska en väldigt liten språk.
Swedish is a very small language
Så
in the world. So she writes in English. Her friend in Stockholm, Lennart Swan, he said that why do you write in Swedish when English is such a much larger language? So that's why she translates her poems and her books to English to find a bigger audience, so to speak.
That's an interesting story behind that. So when did you find that you were passionate about writing, and what were your earliest writing inspiration?
Ja, jag har alltid varit inspirerad när jag redan, allt som finns runt om, naturen, omgivning, människor, livet.
She says, it comes with my breast milk. I was very little when I found out that I loved poetry and stories. Her family gathered around the open fire and the kerosene lamp and in the evenings, and they recitated stories and poems to each other. So I guess she got it from there.
Och medaljonens hemlighet, boken blev till på stories som jag har talat om när jag var väldigt liten upprepade gånger.
The first novel, the story, the secret of the medallion, came about based on stories that she heard when she was very little.
Och det har materialiserat sig under årets lopp.
It had materialized over the years, this story, so it has grown and become more mature, so to speak.
Men även det jag tog mig friheten att göra slutet, det jag hittade på, blev verklighet på riktigt när jag flyttade till Tyskland.
Yeah, that's a strange thing, because she makes up an ending for the book, and after that the ending becomes real.
That's an interesting. So
yes,
starting with the ending.
yes.
Ja,
Well,
som mina vänner säger, jag ska alltid göra bra slut.
yes. Her friends often tell her to make good endings, because bad endings will come through too.
Hände på riktigt.
They
Yeah.
will happen.
Want to be careful about creating a scenario there.
Yes, exactly.
So
So does this answer your question?
yes, that's a very good answer. That gives us some insight into the creative process. So my next question is, how valuable are the arts to Swedish culture?
How valuable are the arts to Swedish culture? Hur värdefull är konsten för den svenska kulturen?
Ja, det är så svårt att säga egentligen. Alltså jag tror att det har varit bättre för. Som vi sa, det finns utställningar. Men det är inte på samma sätt som det var förut. Folk tycker jag är mycket mer hemma på något sätt.
Earlier, when we didn't have the internet and we didn't have the television and so forth, people visited exhibitions, and they valued art much more than they do nowadays, I think. So, but it seems that the best paid authors in Sweden are those who write thrillers, and those, of course, who write cookbooks.
Inredningsböcker.
Yeah. So I think that Sweden is a little bit cold country, so to speak, when you speak of culture.
Jag saknade att träffas bara och läsa och diskutera som bokklubb till exempel. Det är väldigt segt. Jag försökte starta här också på egen hand, men det gick inte.
She says that the cultural saloons are very, very few in Sweden. We have a very long country. It's 210 miles long, but we also have Stockholm, and it's 700 kilometers from where we live. We have tried it.
Men vi har ju Malmö,
But we have a close town called Malmö.
Copenhagen,
In Copenhagen, we have just a few miles
norra
from
Tyskland.
here, north of Germany. And
Över,
so living in the south of Sweden is good in a way that you are nearer to the rest of the continent.
Oh, that's interesting, and it's disappointing that they're so closed off culturally, like letting new people come in to Stockholm and whatnot. So the next question would be, in your poem, When Darkness Falls, you declare the power of words to live. And I'm questioning, my question is, why did you choose the title When Darkness Falls?
Varför valde vi den? Jag ska hämta en laddarsladd.
Ja.
I must find the cable to the telephone, so she'll have to answer the question. One moment, please.
Ja. My English is pale. I'm sorry.
It's
Just
quite
a
all
moment.
right.
Just
good.
a moment, please.
We're good. I'll do a little, I'll talk about the show a little bit. This is the
Okay,
Parrot
okay.
Literary Corner. So to our viewers out there, please subscribe. We have excellent programming, and we're looking for 1 million subscribers to our channel. We will hope to achieve this after a year's worth of programming. And if anybody out there would like to donate to our program, paypal.me/nyparrot. If you'd like to be a guest on the program, please feel free to contact me at literarycorner@newyorkparrot.com. There we will be in touch. Let me know when you want to work with us, and we'll work in a date. And there, we're the only show and the best show to provide a platform for creative minds across the globe. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. When Darkness Falls?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you'd like to read it in Swedish as well, you can read the poem if you want in Swedish as well. We'll do it English maybe afterwards.
Har du det?
Jag har den, men varför den inte är här, det förstår jag inte. Du kan läsa Tidens urmakare.
Ja, på svenska.
Ja, Tidens
Säg att jag kan läsa.
She will now read The Clockmaker of Time
Okay.
in Swedish.
In Swedish.
Excellent.
It's okay?
Yes. Yes.
Tidens och ljusets urmakare har visat mig på livets tid på horisontens urtavla. Jag såg intensivt ljus där, ett ljus som strålade så stark av energi. Ett ljus som ledde till en annan parallell värld. Tidens och ljusets urmakare visade tidens urtavla. Så såg han att min tid var inte inne ännu. Kände ingen rädsla, kände ingen ångest för det okända. Det kändes tryggt på något sätt att veta att när min tid är inne, då tidens urmakare kommer att leda mig dit. Dit där min nya tid väntar, tiden som är förprogrammerat i det slutna livets cirkel. Den energi inte försvinner i det tomma intet utan förvandlas till en annan energi. Har du det på engelska?
Den har jag på engelska. Yes.
Kan du läsa den på engelska? Den.
Yes, I can.
Such bright books behind you there. So many books. Wonderful.
Well,
golden books.
there are about 6,000 of them.
Wow. Beautiful.
Writers and poets from all over the world.
Mm-hmm. I have a similar collection, but not. I don't think it's 6,000.
It's a habit. It has been a habit for a long time.
Right.
In Sweden, they throw books away now.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, they do. There is a strange thing. I visited Disney World,
Mm-hmm.
and when it came to the haunted house, there was lots of Swedish books. Yes.
Wow.
Strange as it seems. Selma Lagerlöf and Albert Engström and all of these guys. Okay, the Clockmaker of Time.
English.
Yes. The Clockmaker of Time, the Clockmaker of Light, has shown me my lifetime on the clock face of the horizon. I saw an intense light on the clock face of the horizon. I saw an intense light shining oh so bright, a light that sparkled with energy so strong and bright, a light that led to another parallel world. The Clockmaker of Time and Light showed me the clock face of time. And that's when he saw that my time was not due. I felt no anxiety. I did feel no pain. I did feel no fear for the unknown. I felt so secure in a way just to know that when my time has come, the Clockmaker of Time will take me and lead me there. There where my new time is waiting, there that is always pre-planned, in the closed unit circuit of time, where energy just doesn't vanish into thin air, transforms into higher energy. Oh, I am so thankful for just having seen my all bright new picture of life. I am so thankful for having been shown just what awaits me there.
Thank you. It's a very scientific poem. Lovely. I've really enjoyed that. So thank you for sharing that one.
Thank you. If you like to hear When Darkness Falls, I have found it.
Okay.
but we can leave that if you like.
Yes, please do read that one.
Okay, shall I? Okay. When darkness falls around our peaceful, quiet home in Svenstorp, that's when enchantment begins. That's when the magic of words awakens and gets filled with the essence of life. They are all so curious to see what has passed after all these years of leather bindings, after all these years of print. No one says a single word, but all do understand that the power of words still lives today, that the word's magic has every tempest survived, beyond all timely borders, beyond all earthly events. One by one, they take their seats around our round oak table in our warm and cozy library. I hear them chat continuously in the dimmed light of the paraffin lamps. I feel the power of life embodied in written words, so living, so strong, yet today, so vivid, so fresh in every way. So therefore, poets will, so therefore writers will, forever live for always. For out of all future they cherish great strength. Through every written word, through every letter's splendor, that through the most magical words has become great poetry. That through the most magical words has become great prose. Everything can happen, and it happens very often. In our snug and cozy home in Svenstorp, when darkness sweeps the evening in its calm and peaceful womb, when you allow your fantasy to flow intensively and widen your horizons beyond borders of what's real. And then they come from the other side of the light, from the other side of time, the ones you've long time longed and wished for. Now they come to visit you. End of story.
Wonderful. That's very exciting poem.
Thank you. It's my wife's.
Right. Of course. Very talented. So in your poetry, is love something that happens through fate? A lot of poems deal with love that I've read, or is love something that unfolds through time?
What do you say?
No.
Är kärleken någonting som kommer av ödet, eller är det någonting som byggs på successivt?
Jag vill säga att kärleken kommer från ödet, alltså det öde som stör, men man kan störa sin öde eftersom man har fått fri vilja i sina händer.
She says that love is destined by faith, but you can predict what you want to happen.
Du kan förvalta kärleken, du kan störa den.
You can take care of love and make it grow, or you can
förgöra det också.
You can destroy it too if you don't care.
That's a fascinating philosophy. I've never heard that before. So thank you for sharing that. And so another question is, how does a social network of friends and other artists encourage you?
Hur uppmuntras du av att ha ett nätverk av vänner och kollegor?
Alltså, det känns bra. Alltså, jag är mycket aktiv när det är så emellanåt. Och det är jätteviktigt att ge stöd varandra, läsa andras dikter, men jag är ändå individualist. Jag läser gärna vad andra skriver och har inga åsikter om andras dikter eftersom var och en tänker på sitt eget sätt. Och vi är ändå så olika, och det är det som är viktigt att behålla sin egen identitet och kännetecken och skriva på viss eget stil.
She says that it's of great importance to exchange thoughts and contacts and read each other's poets and prose and to stay alert and to be able to inform each other of actual events and coming releases. So even if she's a great individualist, she guesses that others are that too. So the social network is of utmost importance to her.
Absolutely, and that's an interesting phrase there. That utmost individualist, but others also are utmost individualist. I like that, and that's a very wise statement, I guess you could say.
Well, it must be like this because if you're not an individualist, you write like everyone else, and no one will read you.
Right. Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We all have our unique styles and our own voice, and that's part of the process, is bringing that out. So I'm curious, how has the pandemic affected your creative output?
Hur har pandemin påverkat ditt utbud?
Det har påverkat med förstärk detta vad jag redan visste innan, och berättat för andra att man tar inte för givet att jag lever idag, att livet är till oss. Att vi är här och nu för en viss tid. Och ta vara på livet istället för att slösa bort tiden.
She says that she has realized that we are much more vulnerable than we think. And you can't take anything for granted. So life is the sole most important thing you own. It has inflicted her poetry, like in The Clockmaker of Time that we just read. All cultural events and book festivals were cancelled during 2020. So her source of inspiration got even more of her. The last year, she has written over 940 yet unpublished poems. So they are. Yes, they are not even translated into English yet. So I have a lot to do. I like that. There are 24 hours a day, so it will work.
So what plans do you have for future creative works? Things that have not quite been, ideas that you've not quite committed yet?
Vad har du för tankar och planer på framtida arbeten?
Jag tänker fortsätta som jag gör och framförallt slutföra boken, alltså den trilogi, den tredje delen på andra sidan dörren. Och novellerna som jag håller på. Det är en novellsamling som berör kvinnors händel, alltså berättelser som jag har samlat i Tyskland, i Sverige, men även i Polen.
She says that
jag bodde i 20 år i Tyskland.
In Germany, where she has been living for 23 years. So in the nearest future, her collection of poetry, The Seven Colors, being published by Same Publications in Sweden, and it's published in Arabic. And then she wants to. Yes, it will come now. It will be published now in the beginning of June, I guess.
Okay.
Yes. And then she is about to publish 2 collections of Swedish poetry, and she's almost ready with the manuscript of a new collection of novels. That one I mentioned, the last page of the important material for building the basic story. And then she is constantly invited by authors in different parts of the world to be part of anthologies, like the postmodern voices of India, for example. So
in Bangla
and in India. Yes. We are seeking scholarships in Sweden, but it's very hard, as I told you earlier.
Och min mor och alla mina vänner, mina syskon och min dotter som är stora fans av mig.
Having had for her grandmother Lena and Jajo, and she is very thankful. So she likes to.
That's wonderful. It's great to have supportive family. You want to try reading another poem? In Swedish, I think we have time.
Okay.
In Swedish for us.
Do we have time for the English version after?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Okay, shoot.
Den vita rosen. Det finns många vita rosor här i världen. Det finns många härligt doft. Många den berör alla känslor. Den är vacker, alla sinnen i sinnen. När jag ser den vita rosen blöda. Med kärlekens röda tårar. Då vill jag gömma mig i mina egna dikter. Där alla symboler talar sin rena språk. Klara språk. Där alla känslor flammar upp för den vita rosens skull. Det finns många vita rosor i världen, men bara en som berör mitt hjärta. Gudsfulla vita färg.
So
Poäng.
in English, the white rose. There are roses in the world. There are whom and lovely smell. Many of them have caught my eye, but very few have touched strong and intense with its fragrant words that become a poem. The poem and the feelings that hide myself in my wish, where all feelings can bloom for the sake of the white rose. Yes, there are many white roses in the world, but only one that can deeply touch my heart with its innocent white color.
Wow, it's very, very symbolic, but it's also direct in the way it presents itself. So that's an excellent, that's a very mystical quality to it, listening to both the Swedish and the you know, and learning about different minds. So it's just been really great talking with you, and we'll go ahead and close the show out. And I just want to say you got a wonderful and quirky mind. I love it. There's so much fascinating aspects to your poetry. So it's been wonderful talking to you, and this has been a great edition of the Parrot. We've talked with Joanna Sweden, and we and so if you have not quite, there's still time. Please do subscribe. 1 million subscribers in the next year. So everybody out there who's free to leave us comments. We want to hear what you have to say about what people have been saying to us. Programming has represented to you, general, what you've heard. Contact us. If you're out there and if you're to contact us, now is the time. We need you right now. At the Literary Corner at newyorkparrot.com, and we will be more than happy to put you on the program. We're looking for more subscribers. We're looking for more guests, and of course donations at paypal.me/nyparrot. And so if you're out there and you need a platform, you want to promote your work, you want to talk about literature and the arts, you have an intellect of a mind, a curious mind, you have something to offer that you think is not being heard quite so much, get in touch with us. We're providing a global platform. So I want to thank everyone out there again who's paying attention and who's watching. Joanna has been us today on the program. Thank you very much. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
We would like to say on the great to be on your program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Very time we can help you guys out. I'm also a publisher with Transcend Zero Press. So if you have some extra,
okay,
go. Yes, some Swedish people keep an eye on us. And thank you very much to our listeners and viewers. And thank you again to Joanna and Pierre. And we'll talk soon. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Stop and search this reality. I can't breathe, no. Please, Mr. Officer, please don't shoot me. I'm an innocent mercy. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. No, I wanna find nothing left to cry. I can't breathe. You'd say might have made mistakes, but give me a chance. I can't breathe. I cannot breathe. No, I don't wanna fight. Nothing left to cry. Redemption. I'm Sean Rick, I'm Sarah Reed, I'm Mark Duggan, I'm Sean Bell, I'm Freddie Gray, I'm Colin Roach, I'm Greg Gunn, I'm John Crawford, I'm Kingsley Burrow, I'm Vesta, I'm Alton Sterling, I'm Terence Crutcher, I'm Dalian Atkinson, oh, I'm Rocky Bennett, I'm Harry Stanley, I'm Sarah Campbell, I'm Leon Patterson. Everybody, we're everybody, where we go. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe, no, no. I to cry. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. No. Can't you hear me? I don't wanna fight. Nothing left to cry. Everybody deserves a chance. Some may ask, why did I do this track? Black lives matter to me. Color and creed do not stand up for or who I should support. My humanity and religion to stand up against injustice wherever I. So Black lives matter to me, and I cannot